Somehow a cool light reflex right here, but it makes me look really pink. Okay, I think now it's better. I haven't been talking to the camera for quite a while. Feels quite awkward right now. I don't know really how to start, but I guess this will just be a review of my first year as a professional artist, and it didn't really went how I planned. Probably you all know this feeling. You have an idea in your mind, a project you're really passionate about, and you're full of energy, just want to get to it. And for me it was starting my own business. I know quitting your safe job and starting your own business as an artist is nothing you just do overnight, right? There's a lot you have to think about. You just want to make it happen, right? You just want to be prepared for everything. And I think everyone tells you that of course there will be tough times when motivation slowly fades away and you just have to push through it and be consistent and just don't give up on those things. So it's a common knowledge, right? But the thing about it is that you don't really know what this means. So if you don't know what it means exactly, how can you really prepare for it? Well, I tried my best. I talked to family and friends. I overthought it a lot. I made sure that I would be financially secure, at least for a while. And I made a roadmap, what to do when, before I registered as an artist, and of course afterwards. That were things like, of course, when and how to register, how does it work with insurances, how do you do your taxes, are there any financial helps you can get, sponsorships. Also look for programs that might help you, like a software to do your invoices, and other organization apps, editing software, just a lot of research, I guess. And I did this as a part of my application to become an artist, but what was really helpful for me was to write a business plan, because I think this makes you think about a lot more things that I would have usually considered, like pinning down your customers' personas, doing research, what competition there is around, what is your exact financial plan, and your milestones, like you want to have everything planned out. Whoops, voice is going down already. Okay, I hope it's better now. Well, basically it just gives you a roadmap, what to do when. Well, even though I obviously wasn't able to keep up with mine, it's still a plan that I can go back to, and it makes clear how I want to proceed my business in general. I tend to get overwhelmed sometimes when there are so many thoughts in my mind of what I want to do, and I kind of want to solve all the problems at the same time, so that's when a written down structure really works wonders. So in those times I can come back to my business plan, look at it, and it gives me a direction to follow along. Well, but I don't want to go too much in depth about this. If you want to know more about this, you can write down in the comments and I will consider just telling you more about it, but it's not really what I want to talk about in this video. So basically I did all of these things. I did my homework. I was prepared for everything as much as I was able to at that point. I matched all my important deadlines, and then finally the day was there, the start of my own business, being my own boss, to do things I'm passionate about, having the freedom to decide what to do when, and most importantly, living a creative life to the fullest. A dream that I had for so long coming true finally. Basically, like I was standing at the bottom of this huge mountain in front of me, but I was fully charged with energy, just willing to reach the top to have this amazing view up there. I brought all my important tools that I thought I would need on my way up. Yeah, what could go wrong like that? In order to climb this mountain, I knew that I had to push myself and work hard for it, and I was so willing to do it. Just like you do the first steps and it feels so easy, but after a while your energy is slowly getting used up. There are maybe some more barriers in your way that you haven't thought about, and it's just slowly getting more tiring to stay on this path that you chose. And maybe you want to take breaks, maybe you're thinking about quitting at all and just walk back, because maybe it's starting to be hard for you to imagine how the top would actually look like, or you think about if it's really worth it to go up all the way and feel all this exhaustion, or maybe better just turn around and go back. Well, in my mind I was just able to be successful if I would work really hard for it, just put all of myself in it day and night, no breaks, always thinking about how to make my business better. Basically, I wanted to work in the most perfect way possible without even having figured out how it would work. I didn't know how to work the best on my own. I didn't know what was the best way to organize myself. I didn't know how I should handle breaks and my working time. Basically, I tried to cook the perfect dish without even learning the recipe first. And of course it failed. I failed like that. I felt like I failed in the worst way possible. I already picked up on this topic a bit earlier in this video. I'll link you here. So you see, I'm struggling with this for quite a while now. And at that point when I was filming that video, I thought I'm on a better track now, and it was getting better for a while. But yeah, here I am again. It was just a question of time until it was just basically crashing down on me again. I wasn't really able to keep up with my goals anymore, and I just started questioning myself a lot. Why was I not able to keep up with my deadlines? Why am I not able to work enough for it to make it happen? Why was I getting so exhausted from the little I do? Where did all my inspiration go? And why wasn't I able to paint anymore and just set up the camera to create new content for you guys? Because when I started out, all of this was like, it was my passion. Like, I felt so motivated, so passionate about painting, of course, but also about creating those little vlogs for you, even though I know, of course, it wasn't perfect. I mean, it's a learning process. I just started out, but just the feeling about it was so different, and I was really missing this joy that I felt before that kept me going. It all just started to feel so exhausting to me, and of course I started to doubt myself a lot about if this was the right choice to become an artist. I thought that it might have been much too early, because in the end I don't have a working business that makes me financially stable. I'm basically still in the learning process to just find my art style. I just feel like my time is running out a bit. The plan was that I dedicated my first year to learning. I started this program, the mastery program of the Milan Art Institute, and by now I wanted to be basically done with it. I wanted to already have my shop set up and be ready to go on exhibitions and do all this marketing. And I know that I really had all the time to achieve those goals, but it just didn't work out. Instead, I haven't even started with the second part out of 4 of this program, and I'm super far away of having my own art style, which I really need to build up a portfolio and apply for exhibitions and stuff. And even though I really like social media for sharing with people what you do and just find inspiration, but at this moment I just also saw so many people proceeding in this program so much faster than I did, and they had another full-time job to do next to it. So I just felt really ridiculous why I wasn't able to keep up at all. I basically felt so embarrassed about it that I also didn't want to share this with you or anyone else. I also stopped vlogging at that point because I just felt too bad about it, that I didn't want to receive the judgment of the public for it. At least that's how it felt for me. I felt like I was drowning. I was panicking a lot of times. I don't know how many times my boyfriend found me crying in front of a blank canvas because I just had a mental crash down. Trust me, there's like no worse feeling than seeing your dream in front of you, just like you're holding it with your own hands. You can touch it, you can feel it, and still it's like running away through your fingers like water, and you just can't stop it. So I wasn't prepared for those kind of struggles, but I'm not an easy quitter, and of course I knew that the problem there was mostly my own mind. So I searched for solutions. I tried to find ways to organize myself better, to give myself freedom to enjoy things in between. I tried having more structure. On the other hand, I tried to be a bit more open with my daily schedule. I tried to use new tools, look for inspiration, where basically you just have to type it in here on YouTube, how to be more productive, and you will find thousands of good videos that you can try for sure, but in the end it didn't really help me for long term. Well, a while ago I heard about this book some artists were talking about, which is especially made for those situations where you are stuck in your creative process. It's The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron, and it wasn't until I decided to give this book a try that I realized something really important for myself. Even though in the situation with this lack of motivation all the time, I wasn't able to work through the whole book, but at least I did the morning pages for a while. And that is basically just like journaling in the morning. You write 3 pages about whatever comes to your mind. No judgment, just write your thoughts straight out as they come. And in addition for that, there are also some questions that the book gives you. You can think about and also write down what you think and feel about it. I think the first times that I did this, I just cried every day because those pages felt more like therapy for me than actually working on my creative skills. But I also realized how much your mental state and your personality is actually connected to your creative process. The journey as an artist is not just about improving your skills all the time. It's mostly about just finding yourself and showing yourself. And this is what I was really not prepared for. It wasn't like I had mental problems before, like I actually really liked the way my life was going. I was proud of the goals that I was achieving slowly. And still there were so many insecurities that I have accidentally buried over time, I guess. And I just never really got rid of them completely. And I just didn't know about this until I started this journey and had to face myself in the process. Because in the end, being your own boss doesn't mean just freedom all the time. It also means that you have to set your own goals. There is not really a second opinion about it. You can't measure your progress on what other people tell you. You really have to give yourself the feedback that you deserve. And it's not just about pushing yourself, it's also just about celebrating yourself for what you did and setting yourself goals that you can achieve and feel proud about it. So you basically just really have to become your best friend and supporter who's able to push yourself in the important moments, but also needs to make you feel fully relaxed on the other hand. At least for me, that's somehow a difficult task to do. I tend to be a bit of a perfectionist about things, and just finding this point where you say, oh, this is good now. This is still something I'm struggling with. And if you tend to have the same behavior, I'm telling you, stop wanting to create masterpieces, right? Just create shitty paintings and be proud about it, feel good about it. Because how could you possibly build up a career as a freelancer in a creative area while constantly feeling bad about your products, about what you do? It's not gonna work out. And in the end, the bad works that you create are the ones that you will learn from the most anyways. As an introverted person, I also struggle with my self-confidence, not just in my career with art, but also in everyday's life, how to approach persons and deal with situations. I build up a lot of beliefs that are certainly wrong, and I'm willing to change them slowly, but I'm also slowly learning that all of this doesn't make me a failure or a bad person, and the same goes for my art. Just letting myself be not perfect in those situations and still supporting myself, still believing in myself and being gentle with myself already made such a big difference. And what was also really helpful was to just be away for some time. Just enjoy some time off without caring about anything work-related. Surround yourself with people that really enjoy your presence. Just feel all this love and this appreciation around you and just trying to give that to yourself because you deserve it. And I'm just trying to hold on to those feelings now, even in times that I'm struggling and that I don't feel so good about myself. I just try to remind myself that it's just a phase and I will find a way out of this if I just believe in myself. In the end, I believe this is what matters most if you want to live a creative life, because what you create with your own hand, what you put out onto the canvas or whatever you might create, it's always part of yourself. So there's literally no way to do it without showing yourself and share it with the world. So really the most important thing to make your business proceed, to prevent art block or get out of it, is not just to push through it, work through it, just hope for it to pass. It's mostly about figuring out who you are, what struggles you have, facing it. It's about knowing yourself, setting realistic goals for yourself, and show yourself some appreciation for what you're doing. Sit down and figure out what is holding you back, get your things right, and be gentle with yourself while you're learning new habits and change for the better. This is the only thing that will really help you out. And then, of course, don't forget to celebrate yourself. Might sound stupid, but the other day when I just reached my painting goals, I did a little celebration dance with my boyfriend. Might sound a bit childish, but this little mood boost was just so rewarding afterwards. So just allow yourself to have some fun on your journey. Maybe it's not a dance, maybe it's just drinking a nice coffee, reading 5 pages of your favorite book, listening a nice song. I think you get it. Well, I'm on my journey to learn how to work best with myself, and I know that I'm still not there 100%. It will still take some time. It's probably not the last time that I cried. It's probably not the last bad day that I will have, but I feel like I'm on a much better way now that actually makes me proceed. I'm not stuck anymore. It's actually moving forward, and at the same time I feel much better. I'm a much better friend to myself, and it's also showing in my work that I just have the motivation to start doing things again. And I didn't share all of this with you because I want your pity or anything. I want this to be more like a motivation to you, because I know that there are a lot of people struggling and that I'm probably not alone with this. And there are 2 less people that talk about it and share their thoughts about it, because it just feels so vulnerable. If you're on the same journey, I just really want you to believe in yourself, have the motivation to just stick to it and be patient with yourself. Probably your journey will look completely different than mine. There's no ultimate roadmap for how to do this. I mean, everyone is just trying to figure it out, I guess. But no matter what obstacles will be on your way, as long as you don't take them as a failure and don't feel bad about them, but just take them as an opportunity to change for the better, to learn out of it, I think there's just no other way than proceed and go into the right direction. And remember, just the fact that you're on this journey, that you're pursuing your own dreams, that you're growing your own business, makes you so brave and strong, because it's not just about taking financial risks and losing some kind of security. It's also and mostly about everything what I talked about before, that you're just facing your own self. And I think most of the people just never do this. And this can be the scariest thing there is. So you are brave, and I'm super proud of you wherever you are in your career. I'm sure that if you just believe in yourself, you can make it through and make it happen. Because by deciding, you already showed that you have the courage to do it. Now that this video is coming to an end, I already have second thoughts about releasing it, because it just feels so vulnerable to myself. I guess that are just my insecurities hitting in, and it's part of my learning process that I just have to be brave and do it anyways, because the best things in the end happen when you are brave. So with that being said, if you're still here, thank you so much for listening to all of it. And also thank you so much for everyone who's supporting my channel. I noticed that it was growing over the past month, even though I didn't create any new content. So if I say it now, I really mean it. Thank you for being such a big motivation for me, and I hope I can be such a motivation for you too.
I had a dream, the sun was shining all on your face and on mine too, in our favorite place.